Hi what's friends, today we have the classy Alcadus Quantra under the lens and I can tell you straight away that it is gorgeous. I hope that my lens is going to do this watch justice, but I will give it a try. The Alcadus also houses a surprise under the sapphire crystal in the back of the case in the form of a mesmerizing and cool looking movement, but more on that later. Now, recently the trend in watches seems to shift a little. Dials of 42mm or even bigger were the golden standard in the 90s up until the year 2000s and even the 2010s. After that the focus changed to smaller dials again, where 40 or even 39mm is now considered as the golden standard for most. The watch I have here on my wrist today has a size of 36mm and personally I'm a fan of this size on my 6.7 inch wrist. The offering from the Malaysian micro brand Alcadus has enough presence and has this classic charm all over it. The sleek silhouette coupled with these vintage touches exuded sophistication and refinement. Now 36mm sounds small, but I must say that after wearing the helm with its 42mm, my eyes need a moment to refocus and get used to the smaller diameter again. But this also works the other way around. We all can see that the helm Vanuatu is a completely different beast and has the looks of a mil-spec diver that is built as a serious tool watch. The Alcadus Quantra on the other hand is designed to wear to accompany you during your normal daily activities, such as business meetings or a fine dinner with friends and family. Comparing the Quantra with the sector dial watches of old, we can see a more contemporary look because of the clean dial layout and more contemporary shaped hands. But I wondered how a set of heat-treated blued hands would have looked on this watch. I think it would be the cherry on top and it would have elevated the looks of the Quantra even further. Starting at the center of the dial we have a matte finish that adds some warmth to the dial, which is a nice contrast with the more reflective parts on the dial. If we then move more to the edge of the dial, we see a circular brushed outer ring that showcases the hour indicators and gives a nice contrasting look with the matte finish center part of the dial. Around the outer edge of the dial we can see the railway minute track and the printing is very crisp. Legibility of the dial is excellent with enough contrast between the hands and the dial, and looking further at the dial we see a radial guilloche engraved small seconds dial at the 9 o'clock position. And the position of the second sub-dial is not a minor feature to be overlooked here. Alcadus insisted that the second sub-dial should be at the 9 o'clock position to ensure the symmetry of the dial. This meant that the modification on the standard Hangzhou 5000 movement was necessary. An example of this can be found with the Baltic MR01, which houses the standard 5000 series, where the seconds counter is on a lesser symmetrical 7 o'clock position on the dial. With the Baltic MR1 this creates a more playful look, but it sacrifices some of the symmetry. So in my opinion both design choices are visually very attractive. And what is great to see here is that we have two watches with a different design philosophy that can look quite the same at a first glance, but they are very different from each other when you give them a second look. Also to my knowledge, Alcadus is the only watch brand that currently uses the modified Hangzhou 5015 movement. The integration of the box sapphire crystal is another elegant detail. The way the bezel flows over into the curve of the crystal under the same angle is one of these details that makes the overall design of this watch very attractive. On the crystal are 5 inner layers of very good anti-reflective coating, which ensures that there are almost no reflections visible when checking the time inside or outside. The slow bezel has a high polish finish that matches the polished parts between the lugs of the case and on the scalloped sides. The lugs have a circular brushed finish that adds a nice contrast to the watch. The lugs are thin and elegantly shaped when viewed from the top angle. They also have a strapalicious lug width of 20mm, which is always a bonus. And now that we are already covering some measurements of the watch, the case thickness is just 10.5 millimeters including the crystal. The lock-to-lock size is a compact 44 millimeters, and the whole watch just comes in with a weight of a 52 grams for perfect and comfortable wearability. On the side of the 316L stainless steel case, we see a scallop design that prevents the case from becoming somewhat boring, but keeps the design interesting, and it makes the watch appear to be thinner than it actually is. The edges around the lower section of the bead blasted parts on the side of the case are now bead blasted for this prototype, but I understood that on the production versions of the watch, the edge around the lower section will be polished on the side, and I can already see that this would look absolutely stunning. This Quantra will be delivered with 1 or 2 leather straps depending on if you are a early bird or a super early bird backer for this project. The thickness of the strap is perfect and it has a nice taper to it from 20 mm down to 60 mm. The pin and buckle is finished with a brand name on the buckle. The thickness of the strap is perfect and it has a nice taper to it from 20 mm down to 60 mm at the buckle. I'm just going to say it. These leather straps are perfection and they are one of the best that I've come across. So from me they get a 10 out of 10. The straps from the Quantra ensures excellent craftsmanship, comfort and quality. High praise, I know, but absolutely deserved here. And after doing some research on the website of Alcadus, I learned the reason why these leather straps are that good. This is because Tanneries Haas, which are owned by the Chanel group in France, are supplying the straps for the Quantra watch. Tanneries Haas supplies straps to many other luxury brands as well, and they are tanning leather since 1842. Each strap is meticulously crafted by hand and cut, saddle stitched and burnished. The inner lining is made from smooth Zermatt leather, and the type of lining is commonly found on Hermes bags. Alcadus really did not cut any corners here. The leather is subtle and doesn't need any time to break in. The grey color is tasteful and contrasting with the salmon colored dial, and you can switch the look easily to the cognac brown colored strap because of the quick release spring bars. And now that we have covered the straps, you know what also would be very cool? Yes! A beads of rice bracelet, or maybe even a flat link bracelet. And there's the good news. I read that stainless steel bracelets are currently in the works, but there is not any news regarding the design at the moment, so we will have to remain a little bit patient here. Looking at the crown of the watch, I measured in a diameter of 6 mm and we can see a good knurling that is grippy and easy to operate. I like the proportions of the crown, but the only real gripe that I have with the Alcadus Quantra is the signing of the crown. With a vintage inspired watch that draws inspiration from watches from the 20s and the 30s, it would have been more fitting to have a less prominent logo here. The lemon yellow color of the lume does not match as well with the rest of the design in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm too harsh here, and at the end of the day it's always a matter of personal preference, I guess. But maybe you think otherwise and find it a bold or a cool touch to the watch. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree, and would it be better if the logo would be etched, or do you like the bright glowing logo on the crown? Should Alcadus change the look? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to what your opinion is. Also, please hit that subscribe button if you are still watching. It really helps the channel and it is totally free. Thank you. Now I promise you that there would be a pleasant surprise under the sapphire glass of the case back. Now I'm not a watchmaker by any means and I do not have any experiences with this movement. But what I can tell you is that this Hangzhou caliber 5015A is regulated to plus and minus 7 seconds a day, offers a power reserve of 24 hours, and wait, is that a? Yeah baby, a micro rotor. Indeed, we have a affordable, well-decorated micro-rotor automatic movement inside that looks very striking. And we don't have to worry about the reliability as well, because Alcadus stands behind their watches with a guarantee period of 4 years. Alcadus offer a worry-free guarantee, and this covers mechanical faults and the movement, but on top of this they also offer one complimentary watch case replacement for any damage, whether from daily wear or unexpected accidents. Talking about going the extra mile here for your customers. The packaging is another win here for Alcadus. In the cardboard box we find a nice pouch with a second strap and cloth in it. And last but not least we find the warranty card. Here we find the serial number of the watch with the warranty. This is a NFC enabled metal card which you can scan to see more information about your warranty. Then we have a leather box with the watch in it. I suspect that the leather travel box is also made by Tannery Haas, because we see the same level of craftsmanship here as well. This reflects in the excellent quality of leather, and the inside is finished to a very high standard. It also offers a nice presentation when opening the box that is befitting to the quality of the Quantra. I love it when a brand is giving us a hard time with beautiful color options that we can choose from. This watch is offered in this beautiful salmon dial, which is also my favorite for this watch, because I think it is very period correct to watches of the roaring 20s and the dirty 30s. But for the purple lovers out there, Alcadus has got you covered with a beautiful purple dial that should be quite spectacular as well. And last but not least, there's the classic silver color dial. You really can't go wrong with any of these colors, so choose the one that you like. The Alcadus Quantra automatic micro rotor watch can be found on Kickstarter, and you can find the link in the bio down below. With the Kickstarter campaign there are different offerings which I have put on the screen here. The Kickstarter campaign is already live and you have the chance to back this project until Friday the 26th of April 2024. The project is already fully funded and the delivery of the Quantra watches is now scheduled for September 2024. Okay, honestly, I'm probably biased as fuck with this review because I quite fell in love with the Quantra. So staying objective was a real challenge with this beautiful watch. But just to clarify, I don't get paid for this review and I may not keep this watch. So yeah, it is not a sponsored video and I can tell you my honest opinion here on the channel. And that's how it should be. For me personally, it's not going to be easy to send this watch back to the brand owner, Mr. Hong from Alcadus, but I'm very happy that I had the chance to get to know this brand Alcadus and the Quantra model, so I could share my experiences with you guys. Tony from What You Want and of course the owner from Alcadus, Mr. Hong, made this review possible for me, so I would like to grab the opportunity and to say thank you to both. I really appreciate it. Tony also has a great YouTube channel by the way, so make sure to check out his review as well of the Alcadus Quantra. Tony's always very informative and he really knows his stuff. At the moment I'm currently saving up for one of my Grail watches, so I need to be very strict to myself in my watch purchasing decisions at the moment. And what is going to make things even harder for me personally is that Alcadus already have stated on their website that they are currently working on a Quantra with an aventurine dial. Now, I'm a big lover for aventurine dials, so I don't know if I could resist a aventurine version of the Quantra, but let's see. I hope that you have liked the review. If you want to see one of my other reviews, then click somewhere over here and somewhere over here. And yeah, once again, my name is Dick. Thank you for watching and stay classy watch lovers. Good weekend.